Hello my lovelies, it is Jammo the Wondiferous back with another movie review. The highest form of art on the devil's blue earth. This time it's a good one. I heard the rumors out there on the street. Little Timmy and all the other squirts were hollering last year about the majesty of Godzilla -1. How it was the greatest thing since Crocs. And yeah, I can see where they're coming from. Now, unlike the recent festivals of dumbness cranked out by Adam Wingard and the Hollywood system, this is a Japanese film. And leave it to them to do Godzilla correctly. This is a monster movie, of course, but it's also a restrained, adult, emotive, and thematically resonant film with memorable characters that largely feel real, action scenes that exist as a platform for the growth of said characters, and a gritty aesthetic that I kinda loved. I'm going to do my best in talking about this film not to compare it anymore with the latest American ones. We're gonna do that in another video. But suffice to say, this is the other side of the coin. It's a good movie, and it's smart. So the first thing to note is that this has the look and feel of a war film, which it essentially is. It takes place post-World War II, which is a great setting for Godzilla, as he's a creature that initially formed out of Japan's fear of atomic power, after they were decimated with the 1-2 punch of Fat Man and Little Boy. The central figure of the narrative is Shikishima, who runs into Godzilla during wartime when he abandons his duty as a kamikaze pilot, which, could we just take a moment here and appreciate the horrifying reality that kamikaze pilots were actually a thing? That people were expected to just fly planes into the enemy and sacrifice? I guess we still have fucking assholes doing suicide bombings as a modern equivalent, which is no less horrific, but still, it's just wild. Why can't we psychotic blood apes just get along? Anyway, Shikishima witnesses Godzilla stomp a bunch of dudes and lives to tell the tale. The rest of the film takes place post-war, where he lives with a woman and a child she rescued and works on a small boat crew cleaning up deep sea mines off the coast. And we should probably note right now that this is primarily a character movie. Godzilla is in it maybe 20% of the time, generously, while the rest of the runtime is devoted to exploring the sociological and psychological effects of what it might really feel like if your country has just been devastated by war and a giant inscrutable reptilian demigod rises from the deep and starts leveling your cities. Yeah, not fun, man. This isn't Millie Bobby Boring having a stupid adventure, it treats the material seriously. Oh, I said I wasn't gonna do that. Oops, well whatever. On that note, one of the themes that shines through the dust cloud of monstrous destruction here is post-traumatic stress disorder. In fact, it's some of the most resounding material in the film. Seeing Shikishima pull away from Noriko, unable to explore their feelings for each other because, as he says, the war is not over for me. I'm not sure if Godzilla has been utilized as a metaphor for PTSD before. I'm not like a Godzilla aficionado or anything, but it works tremendously well in this film, and that's just one character, albeit the most well-drawn one. He is the main character after all, but the rest of the cast are excellent. Maybe not the baby, but whatever, she's a baby. And all of this is to say that for me, in a Godzilla movie, the best part of the movie was the human element. I am a human after all, and I empathize with humans, and seeing untold devastation unfurl from the jaws of Godzilla has so much more impact if it's taken seriously, and if we can see the emotional toll it takes on realistic characters. I won't ruin anything specific, but I will say this is the only Godzilla movie I've ever seen that got me to shed a tear in the end. But hey, you know what we haven't really talked about yet? Godzilla. And I think what they did here is interesting. He's not emotive, he has no determinable thought process or morality, he's just an inscrutable, borderline Lovecraftian giant with lifeless reptilian eyes who lumbers around causing death and chaos. He's not a character, he's just a force, a mechanism for storytelling and thematic exploration while still chucking in what you want to see. That's right, don't worry, the filmmakers know it's a Godzilla movie. and the destructive moments of this film are huge and punishing and a sight to see. This did win the Academy Award for effects, after all. And the fact that these scenes only happen every so often, instead of just going overboard the whole time, makes the destruction much more impactful. In short, much like everything else in this movie, it's well done. If I were to level a criticism at Godzilla -1, it would be this. There were a few moments, albeit small ones, where I feel like the film could not quite reckon with this tonal disparity that comes from making a serious Godzilla movie. What I mean is, there's something about Godzilla that's inherently silly and schlocky. I don't think it's a premise that will ever truly escape its B-movie roots, and there were a few times where I just couldn't help smiling and chuckling a little bit at characters running from Godzilla or whatever. Maybe that's intentional, I'm not gonna presume exactly. It's entirely possible that the filmmakers are aware of this, but these moments felt at odds with the grim, warlike tone of the film overall, and therefore felt a little bit incongruous. But that is a very minor detail, and does precious little to tinge my admiration for Godzilla -1. It's far and away the best Godzilla movie I have seen, and I recommend it to everyone. Maybe not little kids, it's a bit grim. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to work on the next episodes. We're gonna cover Godzilla x Kong, just for the shits of it, and because I hate myself. And my brain really wants to make a Crow episode before they shit all over it with a pointless and insulting remake. So that's what's up. If you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to join me on my cinematic adventures. Peace, love, and city-destroying lizard monsters, and I'll see you in the next one.